Techniques Part A. Let's look at data exploration techniques in detail. Once you have loaded .csv or .xlsx file in Python, you can use df.shape to check the dimensionality of the file you have loaded in Python. In other words, the shape attribute returns a two-item tuple, number of rows, and the number of columns for the data frame. For a series, it returns a one-item tuple. Dimensionality check is required in order to understand the volume of your data. To check the type of dataset, you can use the type function in Python that returns the type of object. To check the type of data frame, use the type function as type parenthesis df parenthesis. It will return the type of data frame as pandas.core.frame.dataFrame. To check the type of a column within a data frame, use the Python function as df bracket apostrophe chas apostrophe bracket dot dtype. It will return the type of data type used in a column of a data frame as it becomes easy for you to perform an operation on your data when you know the data type. List is arguably the most useful and ubiquitous data type in Python. Slicing is used to create a new list from an existing list. The slice constructor is used to create a slice object that represents the set of indices specified by a range, start, stop, step. You can use the colon operator with the start index on the left and end index on the right of it to output the corresponding slice. To perform slicing on a list, use the Python function as list bracket x:y bracket, where x represents the start index and y represents the end index number. In Python, list allows you to store an enumerated set of items in one place and access an item by its position index. Keep in mind, index starts from 0, so you can give any start index from 0 or more. To perform slicing on a data frame df using ilox indexer, use the Python iloc indexer as df.iloc bracket a colon b colon x colon y bracket, where a represents the start index of the row and b represents the end index of the row, and where x represents the start index of the column and y represents the end index of the column. Data Exploration Techniques Part B. Let's move on to the next data exploration technique, which identifies unique elements in a dataset. You can get a NumPy array with unique values of the column of interest using unique function on that column. To extract all unique values out of a column, use the unique function as df bracket apostrophe column name apostrophe bracket dot unique parenthesis parenthesis. This will give you the output of all unique values within the specified column of a data frame. The next data exploration technique is value extraction. Using values function on the column of interest will return a NumPy array with all the values of the column. Use the values function as df bracket apostrophe column name apostrophe bracket dot values parenthesis parenthesis. This will give you the output as all the values of the specified column. Python provides a statistics module which comes with very helpful statistical functions like mean, median, mode, etc. Arithmetic mean is the total sum of data that is divided by the total number of data points. It is a measure of the central location of data in a set of values that resides in range. Using mean function on the data frame will return the mean of the data frame across all the columns. Use the mean function as df.mean parenthesis parenthesis. The output of this will be the mean of all the columns in a data frame. Median is the value that separates the higher half of the data or probability distribution from the lower half. Using median function on the data frame will return median of the data frame across all the columns. Use the median function as df.median parenthesis parenthesis. The output of this will be the median of all the columns in a data frame. Mode is used to locate the central tendency of numeric or nominal data. This is the only function in statistics that also applies to non-numeric data. Using mode function on data frame will return mode values of the data frame across all the column or rows. Use the mode function as df.mode parenthesis axis equals 0 parenthesis. Here, axis 0 represents the columns. If you want mode to be calculated over rows instead of columns, then use axis equal to 1, which denotes the rows. Seaborn. So what is Seaborn? Seaborn is a library built on top of matplotlib and integrated with PyData Stack for creating attractive and informative statistical graphs in Python. It also supports NumPy and Pandas statistical routines and data structure. It internally performs the necessary statistical aggregation and semantic mapping. This is done in order to produce informative plots. This makes it different from other visualization libraries, and this is the reason for its popularity. You can use pip install Seaborn command to install the latest version of Seaborn. So let's first understand what a heat map is. A heat map is a type of graph that uses color the way a bar graph uses height and width for data visualization. It uses a warm to cool color spectrum to visualize the data. Look at the given code on your screen. You first need to input both matplotlib and Seaborn to your current Python execution shell, and then define a correlation for your data frame. Use the heatmap function inside which data will be the rectangular dataset. That is a 2D dataset that can be coerced into an array. The second argument denotes the axis aspect of the cell. Set the axis aspect to be equal so that each cell will be square-shaped. The last argument is matplotlib color map name or object or the list of colors. When you execute data frame set using the appropriate array values, it will produce the heat map graph as shown on the screen. Look at the given heat map graph, which defines the correlation between the matrices given as columns. The red square cells shows the columns on X and Y axis that have maximum correlation, and the blue cells shows minimum correlation between the two columns. Similarly, other colors have the correlation defined from 0 to 1, where 1 is the maximum correlation and 0 is the minimum correlation. Demo, correlation analysis. Problem statement. You are a public school administrator. Some schools in your